Hey, what's up guys? Pell coming to you once again with another video game review. This week's game that I'm reviewing for you guys just was released about a month ago, so I'm actually somewhat recent now. And I'm reviewing Assassin's Creed 3. I have been a fan of this series since the first game came out, and I continually purchase the main console versions whenever they are released. Keep in mind there might be some spoilers from the first through Revelations. I don't know if there will be, but it's possible, so just keep that in mind if you haven't played them. And then it's possible that there will be some spoilers, nothing major, but some minor stuff from AC3. So, let's start off with the story. And the story starts out with not Connor, but Haytham Kenway. And you start going through his story, and it tells how he ended up in America, and you follow him for the first 3 sequences. And after that, Connor is born, and he's like a 7-year-old native kid. After you take over as Connor, you see how he ends up getting into the Assassin Order and just his involvement in the American Revolution. It's a really interesting story, and the revolution itself is kind of in the background. Connor's main quest of taking out the Templars is the main motivation that he has, and then the revolution is just kind of his way of getting to that. So it's a really interesting story. And then outside of Connor's story, there's Desmond's, and Desmond Miles is the main guy whose memories we are seeing. He's had kind of a minor role throughout the whole games, just because he's not really seen that often. It's mainly a focus on either Altair, Ezio, or Connor. But now Desmond does actually have some actual missions. He actually goes outside of the main area that they're in and like climbs buildings and takes out guards and all that other stuff. And I was a little skeptical as to how it would work, but it worked fairly well. I thought that they could have done a little bit more with it, but for the most part, they did Desmond's story pretty good. The ending is a little tough for me to say. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I don't know if I enjoyed it that much. It potentially sets up a sequel or another game like AC4 or a continuation of Connor's story. That's one thing that I definitely want to see, is a continuation of Connor's story in another title, but I'm not exactly sure how they would do that. So that's it for the story. In terms of graphics, the game is just astoundingly amazing. Just the character design is flawless for the most part. The water effects, that's one thing that I noticed right away once I was on a ship. They're just spectacular. They look very realistic, and it's obvious that they worked tremendously hard on this. The woods and the forest area that was designed, it's immensely detailed. I can tell that there's a lot of time spent on it, and it's just crazy to behold and to see that this is a game and this is how good it can be. Now, along with that, there are some hiccups. I think most of this was fixed with the recent patch that came out yesterday. This is Thanksgiving when I'm filming this, so yeah. But for the most part, the graphics are flawless and there are very few hiccups. Now for gameplay. For the most part, the fighting it's the same type of format, but they take a different approach on it. Connor still fights, he counters. When he's attacked, he can block, all that junk. The executions are much more bloody, which some people dislike. I was fine with it. I enjoyed them. Along with the fighting, you have more weapons. 1 or 2 main ones that are different is the tomahawk, which is symbolic of Connor's native culture, and then the bow and arrow, which also is symbolic. You can use both of these with the bow and arrow. You can also substitute it out for a handgun, like one of the modern pistols that they used in the 1700s. And then Connor also has access to swords, axes, other tomahawks or club, and then other types of weapons and accessories. In terms of navigation, as in like climbing stuff and whatnot, the game works very well. You can climb up houses and everything and structures just as easily as in the first ones, if not easier. In terms of climbing up stuff in the forest, it does take a little getting used to in terms of traveling through the trees and climbing up rocks and stuff. You have to start to figure out where the handholds are and how to climb up them, but once you get it down, it's really easy. And then the naval missions. Those are that is the newest thing in this game, and it is, oh my god, so good. It takes a few missions to really get the hang of it. Like, it took me probably maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4, to really get down the combat and know how to take out enemies effectively and just all that stuff. But once you get used to it, you are more or less invincible, because once you start upgrading your ship and making it stronger, more durable, more deadly, you can literally take out almost anything on the ship or in the ocean. And then there are quite a few side missions in this. One thing that I just recently finished, well, 2 things, was there are some naval mission side missions. There are privateer missions where you basically just go out, complete a task, and you're done. Just basically taking out however many ships that are required. Another type of naval mission is the peg leg missions, where you have to go around and collect these little trophy things, or trinkets, and bring them to this guy. He gives you part of a map, and then, or he gives you the location of a map, and then you have to go out and find that map. And these are kind of like the little secret missions that were in, I think, AC2 through Revelations, where it's basically just like going around and climbing up, basically doing, I'm blanking on the word, but it's basically where you go around and run up stuff and get to a certain spot within a certain amount of time. It's not timed like the other ones, but it is basically the same type of thing, and it is quite cool. Like, you go to the Northwest Passage, which is very cool to see, and then you just go to various other areas. With the other type of side missions, there are homestead missions. Connor lives in basically this mansion, and he is more or less the owner of this whole property. And throughout the game, you can meet various individuals who have unique skills, and you recruit them onto your homeland. And once they're on there, each person has a certain number of side missions, I guess, that you can do, and they all kind of involve one another, which I found very cool and compelling, which I didn't expect really from the outset. There's a lot of collectibles still. There's treasures, there's feathers, there's pages. There's just a bunch of stuff that you can do in this game. I finished it about a month ago. I still have stuff to do, and once the DLC comes out, I'll have even more to do. So, in terms of gameplay, this game really delivers. It keeps you entertained for quite a long time. If you have any questions about anything I didn't talk about, comment below, and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Now for enjoyment. If you can't tell already, I love this game for almost all of its parts, because overall the game is astounding. It's one of the best Assassin's Creeds that I've played, and I just love the series, and I really hope that they continue making them. I'm not sure how they will in terms of the story, but I think that it is a very successful series, and if they've gone for this long, they're not going to stop anytime soon. So, yeah, that's my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I would appreciate it immensely. And I'm not sure what I'll be doing next. I'm out of content as of now, but yeah, wait till the end of the video. I might say what I'm going to put up. I don't know. It might be nothing. You might have to wait a few weeks. But, yeah, that's our review. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, my name is Nick Pell, and as always, my good people, keep on gaming.